Just over a week to go before South Africans head to the polls to cast their vote in the municipal elections. In the past 4 months, at least 13 ANC members, including ward candidates, have been killed in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The IEC has condemned these attacks, expressed deep concern, and threatened to ban any political party found guilty of instigating violence. Earlier, SABC spoke to Deputy Chairperson of the IEC, Tselane, and asked him how the IEC is dealing with political intolerance and the killings of political candidates ahead of the elections.
We're very concerned about pockets of instability and violence taking place in our country, and we're trying to send a strong message to political parties to say that they have committed themselves to code of conduct. They have signed the code of conduct. All candidates participating in the elections have signed the code of conduct, and they must make sure that they stick to the provisions as contained within the code of conduct. Now, one of the things that are contained here as penalties for the violation is that we can refer a matter to the electoral court, and the electoral court can disqualify a political party if a political party is found to be in violation of the code of conduct.
Are you concerned about the current violence, especially in the province of KwaZulu-Natal?
We are extremely concerned. That's why we have been calling on the leadership of the political parties and our communities to do everything to try to contain and arrest the situation before it gets out of control. We are 8 days before the elections, and it is important that by the time we get to these elections, we know that it is possible for our people to participate in the elections without any fear, no intimidation.
The elections are around the corner. What would be the process be of starting such a process when you ban a political party if they engage in political killings?
Well, we would have to refer the matter to the electoral court, and if the electoral court feels that the maximum penalty is the disqualification of that political party, it basically means that we're not going to count the votes of that particular party. We'll just nullify them.
Will that not even fuel the violence even more, you think?
No. I don't think it will fuel the violence. The intention of the provisions within the Code of Conduct and the penalties thereof are aimed at ensuring that the political parties comply with their commitment as contained within the Code of Conduct.
What or who do you think is behind the political killings? It's conjecture at this point in time.
It is very, very difficult at this stage to tell who is actually responsible. As you know, that these matters are being investigated by the police, and hopefully they will be able to indicate progress in relation to their investigation quite soon.
We heard some political leaders indicating that there could be a third force involved. What's your thoughts on that?
It is very, very difficult to comment on a matter that I have not investigated, nor that the Commission has not investigated. But we can't rule out anything. It is possible that it could be other people who basically just want to derail the democratic project, and therefore the investigations have got to continue, and an assessment can be done once all the investigations have been completed.
The non-participation of the NPF in the province because of their non-due diligence to the process of administration, they are out of the elections, in the running of the elections. Could that be a contributing factor?
Well, I'll be very hesitant to attribute this to any political party before a complete investigation is done and the results of that investigations are there for everybody to see. But as far as I know, the leadership of National Freedom Party is a very responsible leadership, and they've been working with us over many, many years, and they'll continue to do so because NFP is a duly registered political party represented in National Assembly as well as in provincial legislatures, and I'm sure that they would not do anything that would actually jeopardize their position.
Now, we've heard from the ANC that they are very concerned about the situation. Have you taken up the matter with the ANC to discuss their fears and their concerns?
We sit with all the political parties in the party liaison committees at the national, provincial as well as local level, and therefore whatever issues that the political parties wish to raise, they raise them with us through those particular structures. But from time to time we also have bilateral discussions with political parties, and it is within that context that all these issues are dealt with.
There's a number of protests currently happening in the country in the run-up to the elections, which is just 8 days away. Your message from the IEC to South Africans in general about the elections and the power of their vote?
We understand in areas where people are dissatisfied with certain processes within the society, and we can't say to people that they must be happy, even though there are issues that make them feel aggrieved. But at the same time, we want to say this is a platform, the elections is a platform through which they can actually be able to express their will, and it is important that they take advantage of this platform that we have provided for them.
Just in closing, Mr. Tselane, everybody that is still on the voters' roll right now and that has got their addresses all sorted out, like the ones we've seen in Tselane, is everything ready for the 3rd of August?
We are ready for the 3rd of August. We have recruited and trained staff. We've got the systems in place. We've got commitment to make sure that this election succeed, and then we will not betray the trust that people have bestowed on us.
The IEC's Tselane speaking earlier on Newsroom. Well, staying with this